Hello, everybody. And as Robbie just reminded us, Happy New Year. We hope everybody had a great holiday season. And now we are back at it on Crop Crew. So get those New Year's resolutions going and get on the crew. All right. We're going to get stuff done this year. I say that every year, right? Okay. Tonight, we have a fun little layout. Where did I put it? Underneath here. All right. Well, I'll show it in a sec. Um, and it's pretty simple. So let me get to my desktop and I'll show you what you need. Hold on a sec. And spotlight. All right, here we are. So this is what we're going to be creating tonight. And I was just telling the ladies before we began, um, if you have the circle punch or the square punch, you can use one or the other, or if you want, you can use both. It does make a one-page spread. However, if you just double the ingredients, you will get 2 pages out of it. All right. And it's a pretty simple layout for you to do that. As you can see here, I use circles on this page and I used squares that I turned to look like diamonds on this page. All right. And I also want you to notice that one side is going horizontal, one side is vertical. So pay attention to the photos that you think you're going to put on these pages so you can get an idea of how you want them to go, whether you want them to be horizontal or you want them to be vertical. But this layout gives you a lot of options for that. And for example, if you wanted to do all horizontal, you can just turn it and here you go. If you want them all vertical, again, it's just about turning and here you go. All right. So it's a fun layout. It's pretty simple. Shouldn't take too long. I would recommend some optional embellishments. I did put a sticker strip down the middle border and I did a little embellishment here from the embellishment pack. This is Autumn Harvest. So something I was telling everybody earlier, this layout works best with darker or brighter colors. Stay away from the lighter colors and the pastels. It just won't have the same effect. Right now, these things kind of jump off the page. And I used a pretty deep red and a deep blue, and it just seems to work pretty nicely. All right. Um, you also are going to, well, let me just show you what I'm using here. And as I go, if we have questions, if I think of what you might have a question. So my base pages, I'm using just sheets from a paper pack. Okay. So you're going to need 2 of those if you want to do a 2-page spread. I also am using a third one. Oh, this is what I forgot to tell you, but I told the other ladies already. What this layout really is, each page is really just 2 borders, and one of the borders is cut in half. So what we're going to do is create the borders first and then the layout, and you'll see as we go. So if you see here, like, let me go up here, see this dark color here? That's part of the border. That's the base piece of the border. So for your border, you do want a darker or brighter color for that border because the second layer is white. And after the white, you're going to make your circles or squares, and those are going to be either a darker or brighter color. All right. So the white is important because the dark color is going to make the white pop, and then the white is going to make your circle and square colors pop. And then when you look at the whole page, everything's just kind of jumping out and it looks really cool. All right. So 2 pages of white for my base. And somebody asked a question earlier, and it was a good question. do you see the base page? And the answer is no. You will not see the base page. The whole thing is covered. Okay. Your photos, I showed 4x6 photo placeholders. These are 4x6 photo mats. However, you could do 3 4x4 photos, and you could do them horizontally or you could do them vertically. So you could potentially have 6 photos vertically or horizontally. You could mix it up with some 4x6 and 4x4s. So there's a lot of options with this layout, which I think is nice. All right. So I have 3 pieces of white paper from Paper Packs. 2 are my base. And then the next sheet is going to be the white part of the border. All right. And then this color here, I'm going to be using as the base piece for my border. And then my circles or squares, I'm still not sure which one I'm going to do yet, are going to be these 2 colors here. And if you look with this all combined, how it will look. And I think that's all just going to kind of jump out. It's going to look pretty. All right. So, you're going to need your 12-inch trimmer, 1 or both of these punches, the square or the circle, your repositionable tape runner, always good to have your multi-purpose tool around. And I think that's it. And then whatever you want for embellishments. All right. So now that we've got all that out of the way, let's get cutting. All right. So the first thing I want to do is take my first white sheet, and I'm going to be cutting for the border right now. So I'm going to cut 2 strips, and they're going to be 1 3/4 inches. And to the right of your cutting mat, if you go right to the edge, that's 1 3/4 inches right there. So you don't even have to really measure all that much. Just go to the right edge of your trimmer, and that will be 1 3/4 inches.
You're
Wasn't it?
using the full sheet on that. Do we need the full sheet?
No, no, I just don't have a half one. I used scraps on my
Okay.
sample.
Okay.
Now, if you're doing 2 pages, then you're going to need 4 of these strips. So then you might need more paper. But for just 1 page, no. All right. So the rest of this you can put wherever. You don't need it.
Tell me again how wide. I'm sorry. I thought you said 3/4, but it was
1 3/4 inches. So just shy of 2 inches. 1
okay.
3/4. So if you go to the edge of your trimmer on the right-hand side, that'll give you 1 3/4 inches. The next piece we'll be cutting is the base for your border. So this is your dark or bright color. So the next piece we're cutting is this line right here, this dark line. Mine is going to be this corally color. Perfect time. Step out of the way. I can't tell you how many times I've rearranged this table today. Oh, it's been crazy. Okay. So we're going to line this up at the 2-inch mark. And if you're making 1 page, we're going to cut 2 strips at 2 inches. So if you're doing 2 pages, you're going to cut 4 strips at 2 inches. And the rest of this is scraps. So I'm just going to put it over to the side. So now I have my two bases and my two white pieces. We can put the trimmer away for a bit. Don't put it far, but now we're going to do our circles or our squares. So we have two different patterns here. For one page, you'll need 14 in all, 7 of each pattern. Okay, so go ahead and punch out. Oops.
If you have a square and a circle, how many of each square, how many of each circle?
Are you doing them on one border or two separate pages?
Say that again?
So are you doing them squares and circles on one border? Or are you doing them separate, like a border with circles and a border with squares?
We're gonna do mine like you did your sample.
So I did
Yeah.
so 7 of each, no matter what. So 14 circles, 14 squares, 7 of each pattern.
So if I have two borders, I'll want 2 of circles and 2 of squares?
Are you doing 2 pages, Nance?
Yeah.
Yep. Then yeah. So you're gonna want
14 squares and 14 circles and then swap them.
yep, because you need
Okay.
7 for each border.
Yep. Can you get 14 squares out of half a sheet? Who cares?
If you look how close I'm putting these, my recommendation is turn your punch upside down
Yeah.
so you can really see where you're cutting and cut like as soon as you don't see
Okay.
one that you just cut.
Just got 18 out of half a sheet.
There you go. Overachiever over there.
I'm just punching.
I don't think I can get 14 out of this. And I only used a scrap, so I don't think I have another one that's the same color. So I can get 6 out of one side. So we'll see. Maybe down the middle?
Yeah, give it a try.
Down this middle. Seven.
I'm sorry, so for a 2-page spread, we would need 14 of each design.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Ooh, I can just make it.
Ah, there
It
you
worked.
go. Nice. Yeah, look how close I just did that last one. But I got a full circle out of it. All right, so there's 7. So once you've got your circles or squares or both punched, I'm going to take my two base border pieces and put them to the side. And I just want to deal with the white right now and the circles or squares. So I'm going to put all my circles on this little silicone mat here. And just to make it go quicker, I got the right, oh, I think, oh, there it is. Uh-oh. Where'd my tape runner go? Hold on.
Get it.
Oh, right here. Okay, I do have it. Phew. All right, so I'm going to just tape runner all my circles just to get that out of the way.
Can you imagine if you had to do this with the other system, with the, what do you call those?
Custom cutting system?
The custom board, yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine cutting all them with that.
it would take longer for sure.
Yeah, it sure would.
I love the smoothness of these punches. They cut really smooth. And it's not too much stress on your hands, which I like. Now I'm going to go ahead and just put a little dab of tape runner on the back of the white piece. And then what I'm going to do is really center this on my mat. So from side to side, I'm going to put it so it's centered on the 6-inch mark. And I'm doing it on the center 6-inch line. All right. And this is just going to kind of help us center everything. And so from my experience, what I learned, whatever color you use first, the other color will have more color on the border. So for instance, on this layout here, I started with blue, so I ended up having more red than blue. It may not make a difference to you, but if it does, I just wanted to let you know that before you start tacking anything on. So the first piece we're going to put on, we are really going to put it in that center spot. All right. And I just want to find one. Mine's a pattern, so I just want to make sure I have like a lot of the pattern showing. All right. So I'm going to center this on the white as much as I can. Now, if you're using squares, well, first let me talk about the circles because it's different for both. The circles are not going to touch. They're going to be very, very close to each other, but they are not going to overlap and they'll barely touch each other. All right. The squares are a different animal. So they will overlap. They won't just touch, they will overlap. Okay. And you don't want to overlap them too much, just enough so the points kind of cover each other. All right. Now, if you have it lined up on the mat like I have mine, you'll see that it'll be very easy to go from point to point with the squares and it'll look nice. But just don't put them on too much. Like it just kind of covers it a little bit and then you move on. All right. Whereas the circles, they're not going to touch. You're going to butt them up against each other, but they'll be close, but you want a little bit of white between them. And by the time we're done, you will have a little bit hanging off of both sides of the border, and that's fine. If you're using Repo, this will help you rearrange things if you don't like the distance between them. You think you want it a little higher or a little lower. But here's the basic, what we have here, all right? So once I'm finished with my first one, I'm going to go ahead and take my second white piece and do the same thing. Just put a little bit of tape runner on the middle of the back. Gonna wipe this one off. I'm going to center this on the 6-inch mark. I'm one circle short. One of my patterns. I'm gonna punch one more. Oh, I think I only punched. That's all. Oh, oh.
Just see if that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what? We might have to punch one more circle. This didn't happen to me last night, so I'm a little confused as to why it happened now. Mhm. I must have overpunched last night.
I think you used an 8 of one color and 7 of the other,
Yeah,
right?
but I had enough last night, but I'm thinking now I must have punched too much, not realizing that it was
Right.
actually
Yeah.
enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She
But I
uses
thought I cut 7 and 7.
six of one color, 8 of the other.
Yep.
Did you alternate the center last night?
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you did that,
I
then
did alternate.
Okay, then
Yeah,
I think that's why you
that's
had
why.
enough then, but
Yeah.
don't now.
That's right.
Oh, no, I didn't alternate actually. I kept the centers the same. So I don't know. I think I probably overpunched, but didn't realize it. And then ended up having enough because I overpunched. So in actuality, I didn't overpunch, but at the time I thought I did. All right. Now, if you are doing squares, before you attach your borders to the base of your border, you're going to want to take your trimmer and trim off all the extra edges because you're going to have extra edges on the ends and you're going to have them on the sides because all the little points are going to stick out. All right. The circles, however, you can just go ahead and attach them to your border. We do have extra on the ends and we can cut those off at the end. So you don't have to do that right now, but the squares you do. Make sure you cut the edges off the squares before you attach to the base of your border.
Let's see what you're saying. I made too many of these. It's okay. Extras.
If you're going to decorate the border with a sticker or anything, don't do anything yet because we still have a couple of things to do before we're at that point. I just didn't want anybody to jump ahead. All right. Here's where we're at. Ari, I'm feeling like I need some Key West photos for this one.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Love it. We're going to go. Oops, sorry. Somebody saying something?
Is that?
So we're going to go back to our trimmer. Now, if we have circles, all we're doing is cutting off whatever's left on the two end edges. If you have squares, you're cutting off the two end edges plus everything that's extra on the sides. And I don't know what everybody else's trimmer is like, but I have learned with mine, if I take the guide and I have that black line just on the very edge of the end of the border, it will cut off that extra piece of circle or square almost perfectly. I just, there, that's where I want it. So it's on like the tippy top edge of that border. And then it's done. So I think it's important to take your time and line it up. And I know I am a slow scrapper, I admit it. Actually, I'm going to say I'm a patient scrapper. I like that terminology better. One. All right. So this next step, I want to make sure we're all ready for it, or at least paying attention so you know what to do when you get to this point. So we're going to cut one of our borders in half. So what we're going to do on your trimmer, this border, line it up on your 1-inch mark, and it'll be at the 1-inch mark on both sides of the mat. So go ahead and put that in and you'll see what I mean. Don't cut it yet. I'm going to give you a little technique because we're cutting through 3 layers plus adhesive. So I want to make sure we get this right.
Are we cutting all of them in half? Because your layout looks like one of them is not cut in half.
So for a
Or
2-page spread, you're going to cut 2 borders in half and you're going to leave 2 borders whole.
Okay.
For a 1-page spread, you're going to cut 1 in half and the other one will remain whole.
Okay.
All right. So what I want you to do is bring your housing unit about halfway down your bar, and then go ahead once it's the borders in the right place, hold it down. And now I want you to put a lot of pressure on it, okay? And we're going to cut either to the bottom or the top, and then we're going to come back and cut the other way. So by starting in the middle, we're not going to tear our paper.
And you're putting it at the 1-inch mark, right?
Correct, Deb.
Thank you.
Welcome. And there we go. For a 1-page spread, this is what you should have now. And if you have a 2-page spread, you'll have 4 of these because you cut 2 in half, and you'll have 2 of these because you left 2 whole. All right. And then we're going to get our face piece. Go ahead and put some tape runner on these pieces. So I'm doing the 2 skinny ones first that we cut. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to do the, sorry, I'm going to do the bigger one first. So the bigger one in terms of placement, let me just put some.
Not really.
Hold on, I ran out of tape runner. Always happens as that at that critical moment. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape runner on the middle of my mat just to hold this in place so it doesn't move on me. So I'm going to take my border and down the bottom, I'm going to start at the 5-inch mark and it will go to the 7-inch mark. And that's going to get you down the center of your page. Now with the 2 skinny strips, to really make this a more dramatic piece and to really make things pop out, you want to put the side that has the base piece showing on the border facing inside the page. So your cut circle edge or your cut square edge will be flush with the edge of the page. And we're going to do the same thing with the second one. So make sure the base border piece is facing into your page and the cut circle side is flush to the edge. Now, if you want to add embellishments, I'm going to put a sticker strip on the one that's going down the middle. Now's the time to do it. And what's great, if you still have this on your mat, you can just line your sticker strip up at the 6-inch mark and go straight down. And you'll be right in the middle. And that's it. Now you can add some mats. Or I've got mats in here.
What were they pointing at? Sorry.
So Ari, I'm looking at Matt's and I see this one that says bucket list. This
Oh,
is perfect for when we go down to Naples.
oh, yeah.
Put our list of everything like Lisa has us doing.
For the following year.
Yeah, that's so cute.
This is awesome. I can't wait to show mine.
Isn't it
I
a
used,
fun layout?
yeah, I used an old collection, but it looks so cool.
I know this is an older one too. I feel like as long as you don't use colors that are too light, it works with just about anything.
Beautiful. I like how those mats fit right in there.
It's perfect. Perfect. All right, so that is it. Oh, let me just tuck my mats down. I'm going to leave space for a couple of 4x6 photos. Now it's done. So I have 2 spots for photos, and I got a journaling box, and I got a little title. So that is it, ladies. Thank you for watching out in Prop Crew Video Land, and we'll see you all soon. I believe our next class is after Winter Scrap Weekend. We don't have any class next week because Ari and Lisa and I are feverishly working to get everything ready for that. All right. So we will see you all after Scrap Weekend and
January 20th, it's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, January 20th. You heard it here. Okay. Have a good rest of the week, ladies, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.